The race to the White House is democracy. Come on, 59 days away now from Election Day, and we're also 4 days away from the presidential debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris right here on ABC News.
Now that's exciting to talk about. Sources say that the VP is spending most of her time now in battleground Pennsylvania, actually huddling with her team on debate strategy. Our senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is there in Pittsburgh following the Harris campaign, working through the rainforest. Appreciate it, Selena. So we understand that former Vice President Dick Cheney just announced he will also be supporting Kamala Harris right alongside his daughter Liz Cheney.
Well, politics are funny. When you see guys like Dick Cheney and his daughter endorsing Kamala Harris, it just reminds me of a time when we looked at Dick Cheney like he was the biggest enemy in the world. He was not looked at kindly by Democrats. They made him to be the devil. And to be honest with you, based on the way they were talking about him back in the day when he was vice president, I would consider him to be worse than Trump, because they consider him to be diabolical and smart and calculated. And they pumped Cheney up, and now here he is in 2024 endorsing the Democratic Party. That's the kind of stuff where you go too far sometime in an election. If 8-9 years from now, Donald Trump turns around and endorses a Democratic candidate because there's some Republican running that he hates, it wouldn't even surprise me. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we're dealing with now. They go way overboard with the rhetoric. 2025 is going to end the country. Well, if Donald Trump is elected by the majority of the country and he implements Project 2025, in the words of Kamala Harris, isn't that what they asked for? You give them what they voted for.
I'm just wondering if we're going to start seeing more of this.
I mean, Kira, look, this really underscores the transformation of the Republican Party from traditional conservatism to this MAGA Republicanism.
No, there's no transformation in the Republican Party. Donald Trump took their shit. He took the party, hijacked it, whatever you want to say. I've never, and I don't think anyone else has ever seen anything like this. I mean, the dude just took the damn party. Got up there, head up, debated all the guys, put them to sleep, and he's been looking pretty vicious. I mean, I think the only reason he lost to Biden the last time, and it was a close one, but because of the COVID, made him look bad. He had a lot of bad decisions on his part and the devastation that the COVID brought. I mean, it's just kind of one of them things. It'd be hard to win one after COVID, but he's coming back. He's running against a weaker candidate. And he's got the Republican endorsements. There are other Republicans that are defecting also and who'll be supporting her. And it just lets you know, how serious are they when they tell you that John McCain and Mitt Romney and all these people are the devil. And now these Republicans don't seem too far from what we know to be Democrats now.
The image of Donald Trump. I mean, Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney, they come from a very deeply conservative political family. They would disagree with Vice President Harris on a lot of issues, but what they're saying here is that they believe Donald Trump is the single biggest threat to America, to American democracy. So this is striking, but it's not altogether surprising given that Liz Cheney has been one of the most outspoken Republican critics of Donald Trump. But really, if you looked at the RNC, you didn't have Dick Cheney there, no Mitt Romney, no George W. Bush. It was an entirely more new cast of characters, these MAGA Republicans. But you have seen Vice President Harris's campaign make a really concerted effort to reach out to these more traditional Republicans. They're hoping that these kinds of endorsements can make a dent with some of those more conservative Republicans in some of these swing districts and those critical battleground states. And at the DNC, it was notable that you had some very well-known Republicans there. You had folks like Adam Kinzinger, but also some former Trump officials who gave remarks at the DNC.
Absolutely, and the parties have really
Yeah, they have swapped, is what he's about to say. And they swap because they bounce all over the place because they lie so much. And they bear down and they get so into the rhetoric during campaign time, you can't take it back. You can't always take it back. You can't talk about a person the way they do and then bring it back home and make it sound like, oh, we just can't. Well, then you're going to have a hard time convincing voters like me, because when we get involved and back you up and go hard and then find out you just a bunch of rhetoric, or you got 3 or 4 policies and some people are really hanging in there and hoping that one of them is taken up and passed, And you were just using it during the campaign just to get a certain block of people to pay attention. So, you know, it's not too interesting to me when you guys talk bad about Republicans. I don't fall for that stuff anymore.
Switched a lot of voters. A lot of voters went from Democrat to Republican, mostly working class voters, and vice versa. Trump has completely scrambled the board of American politics.
Yes, Trump has totally scrambled American politics as we know it. You will never, ever see it like it is again, because other Republicans are getting kind of emboldened, and some Democrats. I see people with little different personalities and operating styles. So they were more boisterous and disrespectful than they ever have been, you know. But hey, it's the way politics go. We're in for a good one. Kamala, in my best guess, will lose. I don't see her beating Trump. If Hillary lost to Trump, she definitely will. She's going to have a hard time with even people who really want to support her, who really are pulling for her to give them something to vote for, and she really doesn't have a good platform. She's flip-flopping on some things. Some people still think that she stands for some of the things that she came out in her earlier campaign in 2020, and things have changed, and she needs to be a little more clear on her agenda and on the direction she plans to go, so people can support her, and with a clear mind and an understanding. And that's all for this one, folks. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.